Hey guys, welcome to yet another Frontend News podcast. Today, it's 11th episode and we're shooting remotely. Tomasz, do you miss me? How was your week?
Two hard questions. So the first, my week was really amazing. I did a lot of different things. One of them was to take you to the airport. So let's ask you, how are things on your side?
On my side, it's great. Thanks for asking. Fortunately, I'm not longer in Łódź, so we need to do it again remotely. But yeah, I'm very curious about today's news. So Tomasz, what's on plate today?
Yeah, so for the first news, we will speak about Chrome 92 release and its correlation with the PWA apps.
The next one, I think, is gonna be about DevTools update.
Yeah, you're right. And the third one and the fourth one, both of them, will be about our lovely Node.js. One will be about the update, and the second one will be about Node.js birthday.
And the next one about Google Maps and WebGL support.
Exactly. The sixth one will be about electrifying Electron release.
And the last about multiple React components library. So, I think we are ready. Are you ready, Tomasz?
I'm ready.
I think it's intro o'clock. Okay, we are back. I'm so excited about Chrome updates. They always have a bunch of good functionality for us. So Tomasz, what's in?
Yeah, before I will focus on the main thing, I want to mention that the 92 version has a lot of improvements, new functionalities, new feature, bug fixes, and stuff. More. I want to take you through a few of them. So we received the new payment handlers for standardized payments, method identifiers. We got updates around Bluetooth, so now the web Bluetooth manufacturer contains data filters. We've got painted origin flag, which is applied to the resource timing, and we received the media session API. It's connected with the video conferencing actions. Nowadays, a lot of people working remotely, so it's natural step to support more and more in terms of the conferencing and video calls. And the last thing, which is the most important from my perspective, is the new JavaScript file handler API. Yay!
Oh, so what is it all about?
Yeah, it means that we are able to play with the file system straight from our web apps. We do not need a Node.js server, for example, to be able to open a directory and open a file. We can do it straight from our web application.
Tomasz, what are the consequences?
Okay, so the consequences are that if we have a PWA application, we will be able to see this app in the context menu once we click on the file by right mouse button, open with, and our web app will be as one of the options if we support obviously this file extension. So we will be able also to fetch the files from our directory and process them inside our app, and it depends on the developers which extension will be supported. We can support only TXT file or anything what we like.
I can imagine that it opens totally new world for hacking and security issues and so on. Do you know how they're gonna prevent this?
Yeah, this is a good point. I believe it opens new areas for the hackers, but I believe also that user has to give a permission, and I believe that it won't be like you are able to go in each directory on your disk. So probably there will be something like shared space or shared directories that you will be able to open with such editor, such file system. This is something that I need to check on my own because I did not dig as deep as your question is. So I recommend to all of us to check it on your own, and all the materials, all links are in the description as always. And if you will miss it somehow, please visit our frontendhouse.com or leakyms.com websites and fill the contact form. We will answer and give you the materials.
Exactly. And the last question about this one, is it live yet or like still work in progress?
Yeah, so as soon as we receive the new Chrome, we can use it, and I believe we received the new Chrome. So yes, it's enabled to be used.
Okay, thank you. Staying with the Chrome, we also mentioned about DevTools updates. So what's new in the DevTools?
Yeah, I cannot imagine my daily work, my daily routine without DevTools. I'm using them
Me neither.
almost. Yeah, I'm using them in almost every application, even with React Native. So it's really required for our daily work. And the DevTools received new updates with the new Chrome version. We received the new DevTools version, and what's inside? Well, a lot of things, but something that's worth to mention is probably new Lighthouse, which is 7.5 version, so
Whoa.
you can measure your performance more precisely.
Even better.
Even better. The next thing is that we received the improved CORS debugging support, so now you can debug the cross-origin errors with more detailed information. And probably you did struggle a lot with CORS in the past, Chris. Do you remember some issues with the CORS? No.
No, at
You're
all.
lying. You're lying. I see it in your eyes.
Of course I am. Yeah. Of course I am.
Yeah. So now we received tools that will help to debug the CORS problems more precisely. So yeah, that's it. Next update is that now you can view the order of the source elements on screen. For better accessibility inspection, it means that you will see the order of the imports and how is it going on the fetching up files side. Another thing is that you will be able to redeclare the const variable declaration in the console. So I know that const are these values you cannot reattach, but in console you will be able to do this and you will receive no errors. Okay.
Sounds cool.
And the last thing I want to mention is that we received a CSS grid preview, and now we can play with it with these new tools and prototype our grid without putting a lot of code inside.
What do you mean by prototype?
So you are able to use this CSS grid editor in the DevTools to create your grid, and as the outcome you will receive the proper styles that you need to copy and paste into your IDE.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it could make our work a little bit easier. Like, when you're working with the grid, it's not like you only need to set the display attribute. In most of the times you have to set more attributes, so maybe somehow it could save our time just to verify some conceptions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I fall in love with display grid. It's like something that we were missing. We were missing in CSS for like ever. But yeah, we always struggling with like how to start this properly. So it's good to have that kind of tool.
Just want to ask a question. Like, do you remember using floats for elements positioning?
Of course I do.
I wonder if someone used Clearfix nowadays. Man, it was crazy times.
It was, yes, exactly.
Great. Let's move forward. From the DevTools updates, that's it. So if you want to hear more, just visit their website. Probably you will find more detailed information about another releases or just another bunch of functionalities that are in the current release.
Yes, indeed. So that's all from Chrome updates. That's all from DevTools updates. Let's go to our lovely Node.js.
I'm really glad that you mentioned the Node.js. Okay, guys, so we have a small update on the Node.js site. The release note points that we have updated CLI, so now we have a shortcut, -C, if we want to set the condition flag when we use the Node CLI. Okay, so that's the first thing. And the second thing is that we have now workspace support when we use the npm install commands. Because in the past, the Node supports only the yarn installer. And from their updates, that's it. Okay, it was a really short list.
Yeah, so let's jump to something more important. The birthday. Tell us anything about the numbers, Tomasz.
Okay, so I did check the Node.js Twitter, and I did find out that Node.js turns 12 years, okay? So it's 12 years since the Node.js has been released. And since the very first version 0.0.1, we have a lot of Node.js releases. It was like 669 releases.
That's why we talk about new release in every episode.
Yes. 33,000 of commits. I mean, even more and more, because every day there are more and more commits incoming to the repo. We have almost 3,000 of contributors. There are over 13,000 open issues and 24,617 pull requests being opened.
Wow, it sounds like our last website we built it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good job, Node. We are happy for you.
Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay, so now it's very important topic for me because I love Google Maps and I build a lot of projects like with Google Maps. I even mentioned one of them in my talk with Olga, so you can check it in the description as well. So Google Maps added support for WebGL. And Tomasz, can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, thanks Chris for mentioning another news. So guys, WebGL, we know what is it. Thanks to that library, we are able to use the GPU to process our code, our instructions, okay? And we can do it from the JavaScript side. That's good. And Google Maps, also we know what is it, so I won't explain it. But what's in common? Yeah, last year's until today, the developers were able to use something that's called overlay view to draw anything over the map. So if you want to customize the Google Map and add some, for example, pins or any custom objects you want to put on the map, you were using this extra overlay view, which was put like, we have the map layer and overlay view layer, and these are two different layers, okay? So you are painting something over the map, not on the map, but over. Okay, this is the difference. And the newest update that comes with the Google Maps, and they just accommodate their maps and WebGL to let the developers directly paint anything on the map. So there is no like extra layer that is over the map with the transparent background. You're painting and putting objects directly on the map. So you are able to create 2D or even 3D maps with your own custom objects being put in there without a lot of effort. And that's everything thanks to the WebGL. And yeah, if you want to check more, just check their documentation, because they explain how to use the newest WebGL layer in the Google Maps. And I believe you're gonna love it. Chris, I believe you're gonna love it too.
Of course I'm gonna love it, and I will check this after our recording. Yeah, I'm very curious. So, going from Google Words to Electron?
Yes, Chris, you're right. So we received the 13th version of the Electron, and there are a bunch of smaller updates, smaller fixes, but things that are worth to mention is that they are using now the Chromium 91 as the browser. They closed the app inside it. And the second thing is that they are using the V8 9.1 version engine to handle the JavaScript code. So these two are really important thing, because the 91 version of the Chromium is different than the previous one, and I believe we have mentioned about it in one of our front-end news chapters.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so guys, if you want to listen about the Chromium 91, just go on our website frontendhouse.com and look for the related front-end news podcast episode. And besides, there are bug fixes. I mentioned a lot of stuff. Everything in release notes, links in the description, so you know what to do.
Exactly, we all know what to do. Simply let's jump into last topic, which is React Components Library.
So as we know, React is all about building components, and during the lifetime of the React, The developers community released a lot of different libraries and UI packages that contain some predefined components we can adapt in our apps. And that's where the screen sharing comes in. I want to share my screen. Okay, great. Now you should be able to see my screen. This is the power of the inception.
I see myself.
Okay, so this is the Retool.com, and on their blog I did find the interesting article from 28th of May from this year, obviously, that includes links to the really useful libraries with the React predefined components. I don't want to go through all of it, but Retool is one of the components libraries I want to show you. So why we are using the ready-to-use libraries, and that's because they helped us to build a really fast prototypes of our apps and put a good styles by default right from the beginning. So as you can see, the Retool contains a lot of components, and this is the tool you can use just to drag and drop and build your website, build your app, without putting a single line of code. That's really fancy. And I believe I mentioned about the Retool in previous episode on like 2 episodes ago. So this is something that you probably may know from the previous Frontend News podcasts. But yeah, we have a lot of more libraries in here, like semantic UI React components that contains a lot of buttons, typography, colors, sizes, icons, and stuff like that. Obviously, there are some, icons libraries. So if you want to be up to date with the current tooling from the React environment, it's worth to check this blog post. React Bootstrap is, one of the most popular components library these days, not only from the React, but from the whole JavaScript world, I believe. And as you can see here, we have a nice documentation and a lot of components that are really simple to be used. So yeah, just check it on your own. I don't want to take a lot of your time and show all of this. I don't want to take the fun from you. So yeah, this is it. I just want to show you. So yeah, hopefully you will like it, and that's it, Chris. That's all news I prepared for today.
Thank you so much for the presentation, the last one. Wow, it was amazing. So yeah, is it for today?
Yes, that's it. Everything what we prepared has been said.
So it's our last call for you guys to check our socials like YouTube,
Instagram,
Facebook, and all the websites. See you guys next week.
Thank you, Chris.